So hey guys, welcome back after an incredibly long and perhaps pretty boring dinner. It took quite a while. I still hadn't had dessert by the time this round was meant to start, so I really apologise for being half an hour late. But you know what, we're quite lucky because the two players that are going to play this next round actually didn't bother eating dessert, or probably anything else for that matter. So because not many people are here and, they're both here, we're letting them start whenever. So I'm going to introduce you guys to the commentators. So yet again, we're having Ben Schoenbrun here on comms. Say hey, Benji.
Good to be back. Good to be back. Hey, Benji. It's me, Benji.
And we also have the 2014 Scrabble Champions Tournament runner-up on comms. Hey, Lipe.
Hello. Hello. I'm glad to be here.
So what game are you going to be seeing, Jessica?
Sorry?
What game are we going to be seeing this round?
We are going to be seeing the game between John Hardie and Colin Northmore. John Hardie is currently 19th, 4-3 minus 160, but let's ignore that spread. Colin is also 4-3, but he's 240 spread points better. At plus
Okay,
8.
so they're still in it.
Oh, they're still easily in it. I mean, if they go unbeaten, they could become national champions. They say with like... So yeah, when the players are ready, they're welcome to get started, and I'll leave you two to enjoy your commentary.
All right, thank you for the great intro.
So, have fun.
All right then.
Have you played either of these players before?
I don't think so.
Okay, me neither.
So
obviously,
it'll be interesting to see how they get on.
Yeah. Looks like it's going to be John to start, and just getting set up here. Can't see quite all of the track, I think. Oh, it looks like John is on the right, and he plays Yowie quite quickly, which looks to be a fine play. Better than
Seems
anything
pretty
else.
standard.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so it looks like it actually gives Colin here a chance to play teeniest. He needs to get his rack back in position, though.
The rack slowly floats out of the
This is why we need to tape these things down.
Yeah. But all right, so yeah, teeniest plays.
Teosint also plays.
Neddies does play.
Yeah, Neddies looks like it scores a bit more than the others.
Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. It doesn't give too much back along the H column. Or you can play it there too.
That's what I was looking at. Seems perfectly fine.
It's 1 point more than playing it vertically, I think. It's it does expose the S, which
not necessarily what you want to be doing, but there are so many
score.
There are so many lines for bingos anyways, and by that I mean there's exactly ET, which is going to play with anything starting in a consonant. And if you don't have a bingo, this probably makes it much tougher to score. So there's actually a really neat play here. You could play Yakonas through on, making the blank a Y if you want to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Yakonas for a double is probably a reasonable.
Aquas is better though. Yakonos is a fun play,
Yeah.
though.
It is fun. But yeah.
I think it might have just been Jerry talking about how he had played Yakonas for the first time, or it was the first time he'd seen it on the board. Oh, it looks like we got an exchange too, which I dislike.
That's sort of a large error.
I agree.
If you have a 70-point play with the blank, you should probably do it.
Yeah. So we have Poobahs here.
Yeah, Poobah is they just added it.
I thought that was new. But right now it's Colin's turn.
The grand.
Yeah. And he has plenty of options. I think Oozle is probably going to come down. He lines up. Oh, that's better. Never mind. This looks fairly standard.
Yeah, that's
almost 60 points, I would think. Colin off to a nice lead early on, but we'll see if John finds a bingo in this rack. It looks like Poobahs no longer plays.
Yeah, that's sad. There is a bingo that plays, though, if you can find it. So there is some joy to be found in this position.
Okay. So what's the bingo to be found?
Passbook through the S and Netties.
Ooh, that's neat. Someone talked about
that would be a quality find if it goes down.
Someone mentioned Soapbox, which unfortunately also doesn't play.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like Passbook is the only one. Nice find.
Oh, I looked it up in Ziziva. I'm not that.
Don't tell them that.
Oh yeah, right. I might.
No one knows that. You're the runner-up at the world champion. You can find that stuff.
Yeah, if I was trying. But so yeah, hitting one of these early plays with the blank is pretty critical. It's hard.
A lot easier.
If you get the blank, you want to move it as soon as you can for a high score, and those misses are pretty bad, because if you start to draw badly, you can get really bogged down in making sort of small plays. You're using 6 of your tiles, holding back a blank, trying to get a bonus, or trying to get a bonus that you see. So it's a difficult position, missing Aquas and missing Yakonas, which was not as good as Aquas, but still would have been better than exchanging.
Yeah. It was a lot easier last turn to score with this blank. You just had to play Aquas. Now you have to find Passbook.
Yeah, Passbook is the only one that plays, and really it's the only reasonable play here, because otherwise you're fishing off BO and
BOET isn't that bad. It's obviously worse, but
yeah, it scores decently. It sets up a spot for an S ending bingo if you can hook vowel ES ending bingo or something. Problem is AOPS. I mean, that would be a much better leave if there were an R involved or an E involved or something. It's not that strong. as far as leaves with an S and a blank go.
No, it's okay. So booze comes down and boo this man. You need a drink after that play? You need some booze?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I see you want to put the mouse on it for the extra points, but you got to look at the shape of the board at this point, and playing booze there like that, just the lower right quadrant is really difficult. Whereas if you hold the S, you have monos. You're setting up a potential S big starting double. He's drawn P Affers.
I did not know that one. So what do you do here if you're calm? What's your goal?
I don't know if you can put him. I mean, after exchange 2, you're going to probably put him on something. You still think he's bingo prone, right? After the exchange 2, so you're probably going to want to play something that obscures that S in the double line, because that's going to be the most difficult. The biggest threat right now is some huge double through the S or through the floating E. Those are the easiest places to bingo.
You think there's a good opportunity to just delay a bingo another turn?
Yeah, or at least because the board, other than the J and K columns, the board is not very good for bingos. There's not a lot going on there. So
one of the things that I've learned recently at club is that it's almost as good an opportunity to just, when you're this far ahead, basically just, these are the best opportunities to just put a game out of reach by just blocking everything that you can and not giving your opponent an opportunity to get back in it. It's not fancy, but it can work out very well. That's probably what.
And especially if you. And especially if you feel like you have the worst rack of the 2 racks, you want to slow the game down and clog things up and make there be several turns without a lot of opportunities to score while you improve your rack. It's similar to in poker, if you have the better hand, you want to put the chips in the middle. You want there to be in Scrabble, you want lots of opportunities to score if you have the better rack. If you have the worst hand in poker, or you have the worst rack in Scrabble, you want to slow it down. You want there to be fewer chips in the middle. You want there to be fewer opportunities to score, so you can play off your tiles and make things better for yourself.
Right. That's a good analogy. That also obviously applies with the score. Except it's kind of the reverse. If you're scoring well, then you want to keep everything closed down, or if you're ahead in the score, rather.
Right. Yeah. Same thing for your position in the game. If you're a good position in the game, you want to speed it up and get to the end. And if you're in a worse position in the game, you want to slow it down to give yourself more time to come back.
So Biff comes down. I like this play. It makes another threat.
Yeah, you have to develop that the left-hand side of the board at this point. And you do have a lane for an S-ending bingo with Euros, and it's going to be a high-scoring lane. So
what kind of plays do you like here if you're Colin? I see a hook on Biff that's available. I don't know if you can use it to great effect this turn, but it's where I would start.
Anything that goes there is going to give back row 15. So if you play like Hyla or something, it's going to score well, but it's also going to give back a potential.
You could play Hay,
bingo,
Hay, and Biffy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, there is actually really. I put the E on it too.
Oh, it looks like you probably want to just score as much as you can. Yeah. Quackle kind of likes, I get why he didn't do that, but I might just go for the
I can. It's probably not worth being afraid of the H in the triple lane, especially after Biff goes down. I think is fine. I can see. I would prefer YAE over YA.
Right, that just blocks everything up.
Yeah.
No hooks on that one.
Right. And
all right, so do you see anything with this rack?
The board is not conducive to bingos with that rack. Like the O is all you have to play through. You could play into the R.
Oh, I see some. Zizova told me something, or rather, I saw something. It's a blank of V.
Oh, Vaporer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I think that's the only one.
Unless there's something something crazy here through some 9 or something. Yeah, that's Vaporer looks like it.
Oh, there's also Opaker and Biffo. I missed that hook.
Oh, yeah, making Biffo and Yap, which is why you want to play YAE, because it blocks row 14 more effectively than just playing YA, which merely obscures it.
Correct. YA also allows for just bingos beginning in consonants, which are pretty common. It's good. I would think more bingos start with consonants than vowels. Bingos down there aren't that bad though, unless they put a letter on the double word score and go something O something.
Yeah.
Even something Y something or something S something.
Yeah, like a real Q in this case would be dangerous, but putting the blank on the colored square, it doesn't really help, no matter how much you pretend it's a Q.
It's still 90. It's still 79 points. I'll get him back in the game. Won't get him in the lead, but it's definitely something. And at this point, I think he needs the points enough that he has to play that over Vaporer. It's 11 more.
Yeah.
We'll see if he finds these, though.
They both, I mean, Opaker's potentially going to give a lot back on row 15. But yeah, it also scores a bunch more. So
yeah, you're giving back easy points. Opa.
Interesting. Yeah, very interesting.
Do you like that better than Ope?
I suppose if you're going to miss the bingo, that's a pretty reasonable way to do it. You're raising the stakes by opening up in lane for an ascending bingo on the triple.
Or an S beginning bingo.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to be ascending. It just needs an S.
Right, an S anywhere. So.
Oh, he's going to instantly play HE. I would think that came down in an instant. I would not play that instantly. I would play something like LAH there.
Or Ahi. Yeah, there are other options in that spot. Nah.
I'm really surprised to see that come down so quickly.
Yeah, nah in that spot wouldn't take an S, so it'd have to be S starting and going downward.
Yeah, I was looking at LAH in that spot.
LAH would take an S, but you'd need a double S ending bingo in order to make it fit.
Yeah, I think I prefer LAH just because of the tile. And John here getting punished for his bingo misses with R's for days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is, turning into a really painful sequence for John. You have sort of that moment of blank blindness where you're thinking you want a bonus with it, and you're sitting on the queue, and you don't even consider just burning the blank and making a queue play, so you don't look for something like aquas, and then you get bogged down by a whole bunch of racks that are really difficult.
So I think he's going to play what I was looking at, Pornier from the PO. It's the only reasonably scoring play that I see. I wouldn't be crazy about breaking this rack up. I'd rather just play off 2 Rs, but he needs the points. Oh, wow. There is 9 here, Poringer, which I had no idea about.
Ooh, that's cool. I thought there might be something from FA, but
I was looking through there, actually. So yeah, Pornier is coming down. I think that's a fine play if you're not going to be finding the 9, which I would imagine only, let's see if it's Collins. It's not, so only Matt or Nigel would find that.
Poringer. Brett would find it too, but
maybe.
There's a handful of really good players who'd see that. It's not.
I believe it.
Ridiculous.
So healing.
Wiegand would play it.
Would probably find it. So I have a suspicion that healing is just going to be coming down, making Ya.
I don't imagine there's anything else.
My feeling was correct.
All right, and then, oh man, what? So what plays after that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Laminar.
Laminar fits, yeah. Anything fit in the bottom?
Air something. Railman also fits. Larrigan at top, but I don't see anything that fits at the bottom.
Fits on the bottom though, so you're gonna have. Yep.
Arousaling.
Ulnaria fits up top.
It's too bad arousal is a state of being. Otherwise, you could play arousaling through the OUS.
Yeah. There's no in arousal.
Okay, and John finally gets his bingo down. Unfortunately, a few turns too late. Like you were saying earlier about the blank, sometimes you just want to get it down and get your 70 and be done with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
plunked around for too many turns.
Scrabble's a ridiculous game. Sometimes you can make a mistake like that, and it just sort of rolls off you like water off a duck. And sometimes you make a small mistake like that, and it just completely blows up your game. And it's unfortunate, but this was one of the harsher punishments that you'd see for missing aquas. Even understanding passbook's a tough find, and all
the bingos that played after that were none of them were super obvious.
Right. You'd hope, you hope to remember the sort of rule of thumb. If you have a weird rack with a U and a blank, make the blank a Q and see what happens.
I never heard that rule of thumb.
Oh yeah, it's because so often, you're gonna miss a Q bingo unless you specifically think about the Q. Right. So yeah, if you have a rack with a blank and a U, make the blank a Q. Like, remember, like, okay, make the blank a Q, make that one of your steps in searching for the bingo. And, you know, because usually you skip over Q when you're looking for blank.
Yeah, it makes sense, because it's actually not that unreasonable a tile to play for a long word if you have a U.
Right. So, you know, it's usually like you go through the alphabet looking for a bingo, and you're like NOPRST, because obviously you're not going to make it a Q. So you have, you know, I always try and make that a conscious decision. I have a U, can I make it a Q? And in this case, that's exactly what would have helped.
Jason in the chat says go through all the letters twice. It's just a tough thing to do. You just don't have that much time in every game. That's why you want to find your easy plays like Aquas rather. And anyway, so as far as Colin goes, I think Quackle's suggestion of Perv is fine here. Pornier and Perv in the same game.
Nice. It's going to be one of those games, in it. But yeah,
one of those
is kind of.
We'll see if he decides to go for that.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I guess you spend some time looking at H column to see, and yeah, there's stuff like Ver that'll go, but PB is terrible.
Yeah, Ver is a possibility, which I think there must be something better.
But yeah, you kind of have to play Perv, I think.
This seems awfully defensive and unnecessarily so.
Yeah,
okay. He's having second thoughts.
I would have second thoughts about that too. Like, yeah, okay, you're trying to avoid an X bomb, but there's still H column, like the Z, you know, Z in will go or something like that. Or no, the Z's already out. But
okay, so I'm still not a fan of this play.
Okay, Ver would be better than Pair.
Ver is better, and we've already established that Perv is better than Pair. So by the transitive property, Perv has to be better than Pair. Looks like he will hit his clock with Perv, though. And it does, unfortunately for John, block his play that he was looking at of Diota.
Yeah, there's lots of things that went down there. But yeah, Iodate will still go, which scores well, cleans up the rack. But yeah, Perv would have, given like back.
Just another blank. Which Collins picked up. Can't quite see the B on his rack from last turn. If it was a different letter, maybe he would have had a bingo, but he'll have to settle for something like Bevu or Beville. In any case, he's got to be feeling pretty good, right?
Yeah, playing Perv, drawing into AB blank, like, that's about as nice as you'll get coming out of that last turn. This is pretty dire. AVE blank, it looks good. It looks good on paper. There's synergy. The V likes vowels, and it's vowel heavy and all this. But there's so much stuff. So much stuff you could draw with the V that is just terrible. AVE blank was after BRAP, and then Pair is worse because you're keeping the B and the V, which it seems like they have synergy, but it's still not a great combination.
I think the goal there was really to just make it impossible to open the other side of the board, which makes sense, but I think you're just scoring too many points to do that if you play elsewhere.
Yeah, and I think he was also concerned with, a power tile play in the H column.
That's definitely part of it.
If you're sitting on a lead like that, you kind of want to minimize chances for a large score.
Agreed.
But
there's no
that said, you're not going to win this game with a 350. You're gonna have to score 400 points in order to win this game.
He might win this game with a 350.
Like in the world where Colin loses this game, he's going to end up scoring under 400 usually.
Yes.
If he can get to 400 at the way it's gone, he's pretty much fine. And if you play Perv, you're that much closer. Not only in the score that you bank by making the play, but in the fact that you have a much nicer leave. But
okay, so Bevel is coming down, which is fine.
Seems reasonable.
Quackle likes playing it up top, which I completely understand why he wouldn't want to play there. Not really that risky.
Yeah,
it just gives a lot of
probably
lines.
Not a reason.
You're not gaining much from it either, though.
Yeah, there's not really a reason to play up top and open an E as a floater and all that stuff.
Exactly. And now John is clearly going to be struggling. Do you just go for points here with Do?
Probably. And I mean, the X is still out, so if Colin hits the X, then that's really bad.
I see a suggestion from chat of Dwelt. I don't think Dwelt plays anywhere, but you could play Dwell.
Dwelt does play at 4G.
4G.
Up top of Railman.
Trailman? No, I see. Trailman is not a word.
Horizontal.
I see. And the cue that John exchanged might come back to bite him.
Is Bevel not scary for S hooks? No, it's not, because you can't bingo there. What you're giving up is maybe a 40-point play, and if you're ahead by 100, it's not. It's a small concern, but it's not a large concern.
You'd have to have a SATE or SITE bingo, which is just very unlikely.
Yeah, even if you hit the J going down, hooking the mouse, it's okay. Maybe that's 50.
Yeah, he's not concerned about 50-point plays.
It's still a small, it's a small bingo score, and you keep moving on with the game. It's less of a concern than opening up some prime bingo real estate at the top of the board.
To just Andrew in the chat, he says he wants to try and force Colin to open a triple. I think it's pretty clear at this point, the way that Colin's been playing, he's not going to do something like that in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, the most likely opening play after Dwelt would be something down from H1, which isn't going to open a 9-timer and is actually going to fork the board in a way that if you don't bingo immediately, it's going to be pretty uncomfortable. Because the next play is going to be parallel in the G or the I columns to that, and then it's the whole upper right quadrant is exhausted and the upper left quadrant is inaccessible. So yeah, the board shaping after Dwelt.
That's not a good pickup.
Great.
Not what he wanted. Not the miracle draw he needed.
Yeah, that's kind of rubbing it in. But Colin's rack is interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do here.
It looks like the bonus is going to be the choice.
Oh, is there one? This isn't the word I know. Ooh, wow. DOCQUET is what is coming down. which is a great find by Colin, and it's just gonna be insult to injury at this point.
Yeah, so this is a gruesome affair. Post
all of my games today have been at least this gruesome. I don't think I've seen a game closer than like 130. And there's going to be a challenge. I cannot blame John. The game is completely over if this is his word, and he will get the nickel.
Yep. That is definitely worth 5p because the other option is complete oblivion.
Well, now it's going to be complete oblivion plus a nickel.
Yeah. So there it is. That's a really nice play.
Yes.
Dock it. Let me add that to my card box now.
You could dock it from John's pay or from a spread. I have a feeling Jong is going to come down. Would you just play Jong here?
What do we have here? Jog. I don't know. Trade 6.
Trade 6 is, or trade 7 is also an option.
Yeah, Quackle suggested vlog. Yeah, it doesn't much matter. Playing something is probably better than trading.
And of course, Colin has a beautiful rack again.
Yeah, pulls Caskier.
What a luck sackier player.
Caskier Irax, which doesn't, I don't think goes, but yeah, just taking out the S hook on Bevel.
Yeah, I think just something like racks.
Gonna do a lot.
Carx. Any 5-letter word there is perfectly fine, I think.
Yeah. Because yeah, it's gonna score 40 something, and oh, the humanity.
The humanity. It's a bloodbath, all right. I only asked for one thing in this last game of the day coming up. I just want it to be within 100 points.
So how does
Sorry for the quiet Twitch chat. There's just not really much to think about in this type of position. Colin clearly has the game locked up. So I guess I'll ask Twitch chat. Does anyone have any questions for us about the stream or just about our lives? Not to make this about us. Not really much interesting going on in Scrabble land right now. Sing us a song. I don't think they pay me enough to do that. Andrew is wondering if there's a possibility for a triple through NE, which with UPAs, which seems pretty unlikely. Oh wow, there's an incredible double. Oh, kimonos. I think I lost Chris here, so it's just me. My day was pretty good. I woke up and started commentating. Hopefully we'll get Chris back to join us again in a few minutes, or maybe he just pieced out because this game was so lopsided. So Gammon is coming down. Just working towards the end of the game, I think. Oh, there's a challenge on that. Nice. I did not know that word myself. Oh, wow. I think we have James Curley in the chat. Welcome back, Chris. To answer your question, James,
Hello, I think I'm back.
Welcome back. To answer James Curley's question in Twitch chat, I am more leaning towards TWL at this point.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello. Chris? Can you hear me, Chris? We're still trying to get him back on. I think he just lost. I think we lost him, so it might just be me for the rest of this game. I'm playing TWL mostly, probably until the end of the year, or until Nationals next year. I just want to try and win it next year, but after that, I don't really know what the fate of TWL is going to be, so I will reconsider. I'm happy to play either, by the way. As far as this game goes, it looks like Colin has plenty of X options. I think he'll just come down with Vex, parallel to Docket. And Vex he does. Probably pretty irritating for John. Oh, Vitex. No, there's no reason to do that at this point. So Glint left on his rack now, and John has to figure out a way to score something with this J, which doesn't look very promising. He can play Justing, but that doesn't really score anything. Oh, this looks decent. Jin making Nox and Ide. I had a little bit of blindness. Oh, wow. Judd plays at 15A. I just completely blinded on that Yaz spot.
Hello, I think I might be back.
Welcome back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Welcome back. You got back
All right.
just in time for this game to almost be over.
Yeah.
Jin was played. I think Judd's making Yaz was a little bit better. Just scores 13 more.
Certainly.
In any case, I believe I don't believe Glint has an outplay, or Colin has an outplay with Glint. And I believe John will want to play out and get this game over with as soon as he can.
Yep, move on to the next.
Yep, one more after that for him tonight.
I've always I've not done well in evening games. Even, in the UK, it's common to have games after a long day after dinner. But even the 3 Friday night games that we commonly have at tournaments in America, I never play as well in the evening as I do in the morning and afternoon.
Me neither, especially if I drive up the day of. After work.
So it'll be nice. Yeah.
I think I went 1 and 2 at Albany. Last time I did that, I went 1 and 2 at another Albany, and then there was a nice 0 and 3 Lake George start. So yeah, those games are tough. You just want to go to sleep and not play Scrabble or something. Especially if it's a Friday, you just put in a bunch of work and a full day of work, and you don't want to think about anything anymore. You just want to hang out and chill. All right, so Gel is coming down. I think John still has an outplay of Stum. That's a word. Stum is going to be his only outplay here. He could play that to the blank M or the real M. Of course, are you still here?
Yep.
Okay, just make sure you just don't have anything to add.
Yeah, he's going to slow play it looks like. So
give us all a bunch of...
Without doing the math, I don't know if Biff's was better than just playing out or not. I think Quackle said no.
I don't think we saw what championship player had to say, but I would imagine the answer is no.
And then Tina comes by. She puts the game to rest.
Rough game there for John.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have something a little bit closer in this last one.
It's one of those games where you can walk away from the table and say, oh, my opponent drew everything and got this 100-point bingo and all these things. But, when you go back and Quackle, you realize there's a couple mistakes made in the early game I
don't think I would say that
really
if I was walking away with
everything went.
I don't think I would say that if I was walking away with those racks. I would be like, I missed a million bingos. I would be walking away thinking about all the bingos I probably missed with that.
All right, I'm going to drop off for a bit and try and get my internet a bit more sorted, so I will rejoin you in a moment.
Okay. I'll update the standings while he takes care of that.
Miss you.
Tough game there. I think they started before everyone else. So it might be a little while before we...
But most other people.
I meant everyone else figuratively, but yes. Hopefully we'll get some results in before too long, but we have a little bit of a break now.